Hello, team. Welcome back to another Line War cast. We have a 3v3 game today on this map. On Alpha Team, someone said that my nickname sucks in blue, Webo in red, MB Lolcats in orange, and on Bravo Team, Zelda in teal, Tim Baylor in pink, and Damon Sev 666 in green. The island setup is going to make this a little bit interesting. We're going to have to check the spawns of the different teams because there is a chance that both teams are going to spawn relatively close to each other, so this could heat up very quickly. Anytime now, we can see Alpha Team's already picked all their starting locations. Bravo Team is doing the same. And here we go. Tim Baylor in pink in the center part of the map, already putting down some factories. We have Damon Sav spawning right beside Webo, so these two are in different teams. Zelda is also flanking Webo, so this is a 2v1 situation for Damon Sav and Zelda against Webo right here. Webo's going for 4 factories and now a barracks, 3 barracks, a 4th barracks rather for Zelda, and 3 barracks for Damon Sav. So in theory, these two on Bravo Team are going to be able to build way more units than Webo is able to, and might be able to overpower Webo relatively quickly here. Webo's going for 4 factories, which is definitely the smart play, especially if they know that they're boxed in on both sides, because this is a lot of firepower in this army. Zelda going for this airport means that at some point these factories are going to need to produce SAMs. There's actually a 5th factory going down, so Webo kind of just reverse all-inning to buy a bunch of time here. 3 airports, all strikers for nickname on Alpha Team, building the first refinery. And Tim Baylor's got 3 factories and 2 gases now, so presumably there's going to be tanks out of this. Lolcats in the north, this is the other Alpha Team player. And this is the fight to watch. If Webo gets knocked out very quickly, it'll be hard for Alpha Team to come back from this. 3 artillery pieces are out. If these artillery pieces can stay alive against the number of infantry that Damon Sav and Zelda are going to have, it'll be able to help Red quite a bit, but there really shouldn't be a way that Webo survives this, in theory. If Damon Sav starts pushing, which is what we're seeing right here, there should just be too many units for Bravo Team. First helicopter's almost out for Zelda, and there's no SAMs as of yet. It's tough because Webo can't produce SAMs because everything needs to be an artillery piece to be able to hold this off. We can see that Damon Sav is now starting to get to the production of Webo on that right-hand side. Nickname coming to the rescue a little bit with these strikers and starting to target down Damon Sav's barracks. Damon Sav going for 2 airports behind this. And maybe with some of these airports, or rather these airplanes from blue, Webo and Red is going to be able to hold on, or at least not lose every single building. That's an interesting thing to watch. Tim Baylor, pardon me, building these tanks. There's 3 out already. Nickname's airports are actually relatively exposed if these tanks were to start pushing through, because there's no mountain range, so the tanks would not have to take a speed penalty at all to go there. But these tanks might get involved in this fight against Lolcats in the top right. Lolcats, of course, going for some industry, 2 factories, and an airport. But on the main front, Damon Sav, the amount of infantry here is enough to wipe 3 artillery pieces, so I think Webo is going to be out of the game relatively quickly. Nickname's strikers are haste moving down here as quick as they can. There's a 4th airport for Nickname, so they will start to generate a ton of strikers. But it's going to take some time to set that up, and every factory for Webo is going to fall here, no matter what the strikers do to help. First helicopter should be done. I'm not really sure where it is. Maybe this is still the first helicopter. 5 strikers for Nickname are going to just cherry pick some of these infantry, but not do a ton of damage. And 5 tanks for Tim Baylor, getting relatively close to Lolcats, who fortunately has a helicopter on the way, so this helicopter can start attacking these tanks, and helicopters are quite good against tanks. Nickname is going to get on top of this refinery. Fortunately for Tim Baylor, they already have a 2nd gas and they already have a depot to collect that gas. Great play from Webo to immediately put down a barracks. If you lose all of your buildings, you are eliminated from the game. It's gonna, I mean, it's not gonna buy a ton of time, right? There's just so many infantry here, and unfortunately for Webo, there's nowhere else to build any production facilities since you can't build on your allies' territory at this point in the history of Line War, and I'm not sure if that's going to become a thing. 5 tanks are going to kill this airport, for sure. They might be able to get another building here, or run onto the gas. The 1 helicopter for lolcats is going to be very clutch, and do a lot of damage against these tanks. And the 4th airport for nickname is now complete. As we can see, Webo is eliminated. And so it'll be interesting to see where Zelda and Damon's have both decide to send their units. It looks like Damon's going to start pushing up towards lolcats in the top right, which make a lot of sense. There's an interceptor for Damon Sav. Might be able to do some defense here. The second interceptor just pops, but unfortunately, pardon me, unfortunately for green, there's no gas as of yet. This is the first gas that Damon Sav is building. There's no gas sharing going on from Tim Baylor's gas because this refinery and depot are not connected to a refinery and or depot for Damon Sav. So these planes aren't going to be able to fly forever. Play from Tim Baylor is to go at this gas of lolcats. I think that's a good play to stop these helicopters from flying. As time goes on, nickname will get more and more planes. And commando drops. Look like the plan is commando drops for Zelda. These airport, like, the transport planes will likely be able to reach the airports of nickname, who's running out a little bit of gas. These interceptors actually down a striker. And this gas might get killed with this 1 tank from Tim Baylor, who is slowly starting to push some artillery and infantry at lolcats in the top right. Here come the strikers again. They're going to target down this refinery, which is in a very delicate spot. Without any SAMs here for Tim Baylor, this refinery will just keep getting sniped over and over again because of the proximity of nickname's planes. 2 transport planes full of commandos. There's going to be 4 commandos crawling around nickname's base momentarily. 3rd factory from lolcats. One of the open questions is whether lolcats can stabilize and then counter push. But when you're down a player in a team game, it becomes very difficult. It is a huge disadvantage for a team when they lose someone very quickly. These 4 commandos are going to do an enormous amount of damage in combination with these 2 tanks from Tim Baylor. In large part because nickname is out of gas, so not all of these strikers are going to be able to launch. Transport plane continues to reinforce this drop. There's now 3 transport planes here for Zelda. And this is surely the end. Because nickname's going to lose at least 2 of these airports. That's the low gas that we hear from nickname. Tim Baylor running 3 more tanks at the industry here. 1 helicopter for lolcats doing its best to fend this off. And it's a good interceptor count from Damon. And at this point likely can just start turning into like only building strikers or some more like offensive sort of unit. Because nickname's planes aren't going to be an issue in a second. And that's what happens. Is that it? No, there's still someone in the game. Lolcats is still in the game in the top right. It would be an enormous feat to come back from this point. With how much of the map Bravo team has, all this economy. And it surely won't be possible. This 1 tank is going to be able to, never mind, definitely not kill that farm. There you go. GG. Well played. Interesting game. It's fun to watch these little short games where there's close spawns and seeing how the players react. It's a tough ask for Webo to be able to hold everything off. GG. Folks, if you want to learn more about the game, check out the Line War Discord. Otherwise, I hope you have a wonderful night, day, evening, whatever it is. We'll see you soon. Enjoy. Peace.